What's good, everyone? What's good, everyone? Yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like, what's good with it? Shout out Ralph Deeds. What's good? Yeah, it's just another rant video. Well, that's all I do is rant. So the fuck, like, but well, that's all I do on this channel is rant. But yeah, I want to talk about something. Like, this is crazy. Like, I was just sitting here, like, how it's tax time right now. And like I was just looking at like certain like because they sent me some stupid ass shit talk about fill out your 1099. I guess it's like if you're like a self-employed contractor or whatever. And it just had me thinking like how much of a scam taxes are. Like taxes shouldn't exist. Any type of tax. If you think taxes should exist, this clearly shows how brainwashed and how programmed you are if you think taxes is like the biggest fucking scam. You guys got to understand that. And it made me just realize how like, because if you look at it, let's just say you have a brain surgeon. Let's just say somebody in society that helps society and they're a brain surgeon. Okay, if he's in society and he helps society and he's a brain surgeon, why in the fuck are you gonna? Okay, first of all, you make him pay taxes. Okay, he's paying taxes and he's a brain surgeon. And if he's making like 200,000 a year, he's probably paying a lot in taxes. Why the fuck would you charge this nigga? If you're gonna charge him, if you're gonna make him pay taxes, why the fuck is he have to pay rent? Why the fuck is he paying for water? Why is he paying for food? Why is he paying for clothing? Why is he paying for the tools that he's needed to carry out being a brain surgeon? And that includes food and shelter, because if he doesn't have food and shelter, how the fuck is he going to even be fit mentally and physically to be able to perform brain surgery? So why in the fuck is he paying for all that shit if he's working, providing for the system, and he's paying taxes? Shouldn't all of that tax money go to like him being like him living and his shelter and all of that shit? Because they say like you pay taxes and it goes into the society and shit, which is, it's all a lie, it's a scam. But I'm just trying to say what they say, but it's all bullshit. So it made me just realize like what the fuck is the point of paying taxes? Because it all of like most of the taxes, if not all the taxes, goes into like rich people's. It doesn't go to what you guys think it is. Like they say they laid off all these people at Amazon and they laid off all these, they're laying off thousands of people. But when they lay off all these people, didn't these people pay taxes? Why the fuck are they have to go back to the homeless shelter? Like, why aren't these people secure? Because all the taxes they pay, like, it's ridiculous. What I'm trying to say is like this shit just made me realize how much of a scam it is. And then you'll see people be like, "Oh, you got to pay your taxes. You got to do this. You got to do like shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up." Because these are the same raggedy, dingy ass fuckheads that will complain about rent's too high, the inflation, the food. I can't take care of my kids, daycare, grow. Like, they shut the fuck up, bitch. You're the same motherfucker to complain about these things, but then if somebody doesn't pay their taxes, you want to complain. Oh, you got to pay your taxes. You got to do this. But then on the second hand, you want to complain why the government and why the system keeps raising prices. Like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, this whole shit is a fucking scam. And until people realize this shit is a scam, people are gonna keep getting what they're getting. This is why I say most people. I see now why most people suffer. When you see the average person, like I was at the store the other day, and this stupid ass white bitch was all complaining about how she has to pay $11 in groceries and the groceries are going up. And I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, you're not getting no sympathy for me because you're the same stupid bitch who goes out to vote every year. You probably vote for Trump. even if you voted for Biden, you're still a retard. You probably are into politics. You probably believe that it's normal for people to pay taxes. You probably call people late. You probably look down on a person who's lazy, who stays with their parent, but you don't look down at the government and the politicians who scam people out of tax money and corruption and fraud and all this bullshit. You don't look at that problem. You just look at somebody who doesn't want to, Gen Z, who doesn't want to go to work. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You're part of the problem. This is why your life sucks. This is why you're miserable. This is why most people, they're in the situation they're in because, like I said, remember my last video, I said America is facing karma. So you got these dumbass people, these stupid spiritualists and these conscious niggers that want to talk about, oh, the system's going to collapse, the white man's going to fall. Like, no, yeah, they are going to fall. Don't get me wrong. But if they fall, bitch, you're falling with it because a lot of these niggas, they believe in the system. And a lot of people, they perpetuate the system without knowing it. So you're going to fall too. If you believe it's normal to pay taxes collectively, then this is why collectively they have shit like tariffs, inflation, all of this shit. And then they'll tell you some type of story because it's about getting you to believe that this shit is normal. Like everything about the American society is fucking insane. It's retarded. Like there's no reason there should be government here. If every single politician, government official, president were to drop dead today, nothing would change. People will still go to work. People will still make this system go because that's a society, it's a community. But yet you have people, not we, but you guys have people that control shit that doesn't need to be controlled. And then this is why a lot of people get like a lot of negativity in their life. Like they can't take care of their kids, they can't pay rent, they do all this other shit. And then collectively, like people say that, oh, why is this happening? It's fucked up what they're doing. No, bitch. Like people agree to this. So collectively, people think this shit is normal. Like you'll have people out here, it's like you have kids growing up, right? And they'll be like, I don't want to go to work. And then the parent be like, you're lazy, which I get it in a certain capacity. I get it. But at the same time, why not teach the kid to work for something meaningful? Teach them how to build a house. Teach them how to harness resources. Teach them how to be creative and have a skill where that skill can take care of them instead of calling them lazy because they don't want to waste their fucking time going to some meaningless education that's not going to teach them shit but to be a slave working at a corporation that's just going to get them laid the fuck off. And then they're going to be at square one, working at Starbucks or some bullshit job. And if they don't want to work at Starbucks because they can't get a job somewhere, you call them lazy. Like, shut the fuck up. And like this is why like this whole this whole America's done for. That's why I say America's done for. And it just made me just realize like this shit is crazy. That's why I'm like, I just tell you guys, like, find something you like to do and just do that. Because right now, like everyone's lost. Like most people are lost right now. Most people in this world are lost. And it's not going to end well for most people at the end of the day. This is like, because we're going through a shift right now where there's going to be a lot of karmic repercussions. So remember when I said all you guys are worrying about when the system's going to collapse, when is money going to stop working, when is this going to stop working? None of that shit matters. I'm not to say that you shouldn't go out and make money. Do whatever the fuck you need to do. If you need me, a grown-ass man, to tell you, a grown-ass man or woman, to go work and go make money, go do this or how to make money or how to work, you're fucking retarded. Like you have all these people talk about, oh, it's not all about spiritual. It's about money too. Bitch, that's common sense. When you go outside and you can't pay for a fucking bag of chips without fiat currency, it's common sense that it's more than just spiritual, you stupid fuck. You don't need another grown-ass man that like you, talking to you, another grown-ass man telling you what the fuck you know is common sense. Everybody knows what's common sense, but it's like people somehow they want to call you like, oh, you think it's not about, it's not even that it's not about money, it's about not wasting time, because people, they're wasting time on shit that's not meaningful, but then they're forced to do it because the collective, like, so there's collective consciousness and so many people like believe in this shit. So like this is why I say we're in a new shift right now. This is where my point was. I had lost my point, but we're in a new shift right now, whereas all of this shit that you think is like money, the system working, I'm not saying that's gonna go away. I'm not saying that's gonna go away. Shout out to Jay Bass. Shout out to Ralph Dees. Was good with it. It doesn't need to go away. It's gonna go away, and it does need to go away. But at the same time, is it could go, it could stay and go away at the same time. And let me tell, let me. I'm gonna. This is what I mean when I say that. All of these things that everyone's waiting to collapse, it's gonna still be here, but we're in a shift where the energies, the atmosphere, the reality, the collective mind, that's gonna shift. And when that shifts, how people perceive the old system and like the money, the jobs, and all that is gonna be differently. So much to the point where it won't even feel the same doing it or work the same, and therefore it's gonna collapse by default, even if people don't want it to collapse. You get what I'm saying? Because what's important is if the mind and the energies that shifts. Once that shifts, then the other shit doesn't need to shift physically for it to falter away. It's gonna falter away by default. It's like somebody's like, it's like you play with Legos when you were a kid. Legos is still here, but how you perceive Legos is different when you're a kid. You don't fuck with them, but they're still here. So we're in a new shift where how people perceive shit is gonna be a lot differently, and it's not gonna be people wake up and get to the point. It's gonna be you're gonna be forced to perceive it. One example is time speeding up. You see how fast it's speeding up? People don't even have time to go to work, come home, and enjoy themselves. So this is why one reason a lot of people are more stressed, because they gotta go home, go to work. Like before, you used to go to work, chill, come home, be able to do certain things, hang out with your friends, do whatever, and live a life. Now you can't do that shit. So most people, they will look at that like be depressed and be sad and feel like life is over. But somebody with common sense will be like, no, this is a sign for me to focus my energy on what's important in my life. And then once you're in that flow and synchronicity, then time accelerating really doesn't even matter. That in actuality, it's a good thing because you can get more done. If you're locked into becoming somebody like build muscle, 5 years building muscle, they told you takes like 5-6 years to get muscle. That's gonna come by quick. But if you're somebody who's locked into some bullshit and you got to work a shitty job and you're waiting for like $100,000 to fall in your fucking lap or something to happen where like everything it just turns right, then you're gonna waste 5 years of your life, and before you know it, you're gonna be in the same position or worse, and you're gonna feel hella regret. So it's like this is why I say like we're in a new shift right now. So you want to focus on what's important, because like right now you see a lot. You see like the way this. I don't want to sit there and speak all doom and like it's all negative, because it's not all negative, but it's not. It's safe to say most people are just fucked up right now, mentally. They want you to think it's financially and all of that shit, which plays a part of it. But I look at it like the finance and the physical and all that. That's a symptom. You have the symptom, and then you have the actual problem. 99% of people, especially if you're in a Western country, 99% of people who complain about physical shit like money, rent, and shit, that's really not their main problem. And if it was their main problem, that wouldn't be their problem, because everybody's trying to fix their main problem. This is why people go to work, so they don't, like, you see what I'm saying? But that isn't their main problem. Hence why they want, because people in the way life works for most people want what's not for them. So the way the mind works is when you want to be successful and be great, there's certain sacrifices you have to make. And since most people, their ego it runs their whole awareness, they don't understand that what they want is usually what they don't need. And when you chase after what you don't need, you don't get it. This is why most people don't have shit that they feel they want. Oh, I want to have this relationship. I want to have money. I want to have this. But they don't have that. If you wanted it, bitch, you will have it. And if you don't have it, it means you don't need it right now. You don't deserve it right now. That means there's something else that's more important that you need to take care of. And once you take care of that, then all the other shit will come by default. But you can't tell nobody that. So this is why you see a lot of people that are fucked up right now, because they're trying to get shit that they don't deserve and that they don't need, and that it's a symptom of a bigger problem. Like, remember when I was telling you, you have people out here complaining about how the government needs to do this and the system needs to do this, but yet why don't people take the initiative to go and do all, like, why the fuck, like, I never understood how food stamps, eating, shelter have anything to do with the government. Like, if eating, shelter, clothing, and stability have anything to do with the government, that's a failure on the people. That means you have a lot of people who are very lost, who don't know what the fuck is going on, that they give their power to think that this person owes you something. Like, it's not even that they owe you. Like, the government, they don't have shit. Only thing they have is what they stole. So even if the government would have gave everybody a $3,000 check, they didn't get that money. They stole it. They can't cut the government. They can't get shit because it's a big fraudulent scheme, like a pyramid scheme. It's like the person who made the pyramid scheme. Oh, I'm gonna give you $1 million for helping me out on my pyramid. Like, nigga, that ain't your money. You stole that money, and you see what I'm saying? It's like the government is a fucking pyramid scheme, an elaborate criminal scheme. So where the fuck did people get this? The government can give you stability, whereas like the people working and waking up, they're the ones who make everything. So that's what I'm saying. That shit fucking, it always confused me when people would be like complaining about food stamps, but then I'm like, what the fuck the government have to do with food stamps? And if they do have to do something with food stamps, because you say, well, they can give it out, how did the people get it to that point where they allow that shit to get to that point? It's like the tax situation. The only reason you pay taxes is because people pay taxes, not because the government demands it. If a million people right now, we're saying we're not paying taxes, and I'm talking about like people across the board, like rich, poor, people who make 200,000, people who they're like, we're not paying taxes. A million people. The government isn't gonna just, what are they gonna do with a million people? What they're gonna do is they're gonna have to negotiate. If it's one or two people, they could take you to jail. They could tell you, you got to do this, and they could debo you and make you feel scared and make an example out of you to everyone. But if it's enough people, it doesn't have to be everyone, because most people are retarded. It just has to be a good amount, and not even that much. It's just a good chunk of people. They will have to negotiate and go back to the drawing board, like what they did with the vaccine. They wanted everybody to get that shit stuck in their ass. Nobody was having it. People were like, you're not giving my kids this shit. People are fighting. This is why you don't hear about that shit no more. So it's the same with every fucking thing. So if people were to take a stand, shit would change quickly, very quickly. But they have a lot of programming, brainwashing, and then they have a lot of puppets and people that they because you think about it like this, nobody gives a fuck about the government and the system. But to get you to think that you care about it, they have to have puppets, agents that they take care of. Like, this is where politicians are. Politicians are puppets that they give benefits to make them invested in keeping you asleep. Because a politician really ain't shit. It's the people who run the world who you don't see, because you'll never see the people who really run it. Because if you've seen them, it will defeat the purpose of the scam. So they get these politicians and these puppets and these actors and shit, and then they get them to get you invested and think. Because this is where when people, they'll step out of line, they'll have all these agents out here try to get you in line. But why would an agent care about keeping you in line? Is there because they're getting benefits? They're invested in the system. When you're a slave and you're suffering, they're getting kickback. So they're invested in the system. So the average person has no reason to be invested in the system other than fear. So that's how they keep this shit going, through fear and other people being invested in the system, like these puppets and shit. And like, if it was enough people to just wake the fuck up, man, like this shit wouldn't even be like this. But like I said, that ain't never gonna really happen. That's never. That's why I say, like, at this point, because I'm not like, this is not about waking people up, because most people, their fate is sealed. Shout out to Damian Luck. He's a resident of your stream. Because this is, don't think that I'm trying to use this video to wake people up. I'm just saying this shit because it just made me just realize how much society is a fucking scam. And I'm gonna get to the comments and everything. I just want to say this thing real quick. It just makes me realize society is a fucking scam, because it's like, I don't know, man. Like, people their fate is sealed. Like, don't think you can wake people up. And when I say you can't wake people up, people think that time is forever. Like, this shit ain't forever. There's a time limit, and we're at like a point right now where I don't want to say it's too late, but for most people it's too late. So we're at a time where most people's fate is sealed. So about you think you can wake people up and shit's gonna, like, nah, this shit is damn near over. When I say, oh, I'm not saying life is over. Life is still gonna be functioning. Life is actually not as far from over as far as what you guys think over is. When I say over, I'm talking about over as in a certain, where we ended a certain shift. So that shift where you can be ignorant, waste time, do all that and be dumb and make mistakes, that shit's over. But in terms of life and thriving and being able to have good experiences, that's far from over. We got a long time. But for most people, life is over, because we're in a new shift where you're not going to be able to do that old shit. And when you do it, it's not going to feel right, and you're not going to feel fulfilled. This is why so many people are fucked up right now. And it's not just people who are struggling. Even when I see rich people with money, I can tell by the way their energy is, like, they struggling too. It's like they're not even fulfilled. Their money doesn't even bring them fulfillment, because we're in a shift where you have to have inner fulfillment for anything to really shape. So like a lot of these people with money, they're very, like, they can't even get fulfillment. They don't even have time to enjoy their wealth. So if you're somebody like that and you don't know how to develop your inner world to actually feel good and content inwardly and have something to anchor you into reality that you generate on your own internal bliss or whatever, then you're gonna feel like life is like, it's horrible, even if you have money, because now you're gonna end up probably spending more money, spending more things, getting more depressed, because of you. Like, it's just gonna feel all different. This is why I tell you guys, like, you gotta know how to do your shit. And most people, this shit is over with. So this is why you see a lot of the governments, they're crashing the fuck out. They're doing a lot of crazy shit right now, because, like, the energies is making everybody fucking, like, spaz out right now, in a good or a negative way, in a good way or a bad way. So people in this world know smarter than children, even older motherfuckers. I have a kid myself, and exactly. I was saying that in my last live stream. This is why most kids don't even respect a lot of the adults, because the average Gen Alpha, which is in high school, because Gen Alpha is, like, in high school right now. Gen Z, they just graduate. They just graduate at high school to pretty much, they're in high school, getting ready to graduate out of high school, because as time goes on, the generations get older. So Gen Alpha is, like, in high school right now. So if you look at the average Gen Alpha, the way they talk, the way they move and shit, they treat the adults like their peers. And it's not because they think they smarter in a way. It's more so that the adults really have nothing. Because when you have so much social media, before we didn't have social media when I was going, like, I'm like a millennial, so I'm like the age where we experienced life without social media and we experienced life with it. Like, millennial was like the only, like, my age group was like the only generation that experienced both ends of the spectrum. When like I was here when this shit wasn't here, and I was here when it came, and I seen that shit like how it came, which is around like 2013, 2012, when that shit started getting like how it was today, and it just grew from there. So when you're like Gen Alpha and you grow up with this social media and you have all this shit on the internet, and then you see all the people, the adults nowadays into this shit, because the adults now aren't the same adults as they were like 10, 20 years ago. So they look at the adults now like their peers, like, because if you look at it, most adults nowadays are lost. They don't know what the fuck's going on because we're in a shift now. So it takes spiritual wisdom and knowledge to actually, and when I say spiritual, I'm not just saying like spiritual like you guys. I'm just talking about spiritual because there's like lack of words. It's hard to find words to use, but like it takes some type of spiritual navigation to really run shit and make shit happen now. It's not like back in the day where you can kind of be an idiot and still, because the way the system was and everything, like you can work at a shitty job and still have a house and all this. And that's how it was. Nowadays, it's like you got to actually have some type of spiritual navigation and be tapped in to really be successful and thrive in this day and age. Or you're somebody who had it back then, like a boomer who had their shit back then, and then they're carrying it over now. But most adults nowadays are fucked up. And the ones that aren't fucked up so much, but they're like the ones still dependent on the system. So when you see a lot of these Gen Alpha, these young kids, like they look at you like, who the fuck is this person? Who are they to tell me nothing? Because they're in the same situation as me. Like most niggas that are in their 30s, 40s are in the same situation as a nigga when they're 18. And yeah, you could say they're adult, but it wasn't really like that back then like it is now. Like nowadays, it's like, when you see it, it's like you can't. I can see why most of these motherfuckers, like they're retarded. Most of these grown people are retarded, and these kids is retarded too. But like they don't have nobody to tell them shit because nobody got no wisdom and knowledge. And then the kids, they don't have no experience. So any type of kid who has any knowledge and wisdom is like it's from TikTok, it's from the internet. They don't have actual experience like in the world where this happened or they went on this, or because most of the life, especially after the pandemic, it just take your ass home and go on the internet and do this. And like unless you're a kid and you grew up in the hood, the street, you in foster care where you're moving around, then I guess you got more experience because you've been through more shit and you're going through more things in life, so you probably can learn more. But like average person, they go to school, come home, they don't do shit. So it's like there's no experience, but then they have so much knowledge. But then at the same time, you got these adults who like they may have a little bit more experience, but they're hella dumb and they're fucked up. So it's like, how can I take this person serious? Because they're a lot. The average person's lost. Like even when I'm talking to people who are like grown and shit, like I'll talk to people that are my age, right? And they be looking hella older than me, because sometimes I gotta check myself. Like sometimes I be forgetting like how old I am. Really, I literally forget how old I am. I'll be talking to people and they'll be like around my age, like 35 or something, 34, and I'll be like, and then I'll be talking to them. They be having kids and they be looking older, and I have to realize like, God damn, I'm getting kind of old. Like I have to literally like remind myself like I am getting older in terms of age, even though I don't feel it and I don't look it. It reminds me. And then when I be talking to these people, they be hella dumb. And I'll be just like, and then sometimes they be thinking I'm young and shit. And I'll be like, telling my age, and I'm like, oh shit, you look good for your age. I'm like, oh, it's just weird, man. Like, but when I be talking to these people, like they be like dumb. Like they don't have common sense. And I feel like it's like people say that people are getting more awake. I feel like some people are getting more awake, but I also feel like most people are getting dumber. Most people are getting dumber because what is awake? There's different levels of being awake. Like you could be awake and still be doing something retarded. Because I judge awake by actions. What are you doing? Like you can talk like, yeah, there's a lot of, especially this is what it is like nowadays. There's a lot of black people, a lot of people I talk to. They could talk about the Illuminati, they could talk about the government and how we're not black. how we're indigenous and all this other shit that they get off TikTok, but then they're living the same life, doing the same shit every day. And when you tell them like, oh, why don't you go and do this? Or why don't you, they'll tell you like, oh, this is unhealthy for you. Do you know what, all the chemicals they put in Lucky Charms and how it can hurt the heart and cause you high blood pressure and put you in a coma at an early age from eating Cheerios every day? But then they'll go and eat some junk food that's not healthy for you. But the reason they're doing that is because they're still addicted to it. So they're not awake to sacrifice their desires. They're not awake to the point where they know what they need to do. And to like, people only want to do what feels good. People know what they don't need to do, but when it's something that has to sacrifice to not feel good, then they won't do it. But then they'll preach and talk like, you see what I'm saying? So that's not awake to me. Just because you know some shit, which is a lot of people, they know shit, but they don't actually practice what they preach. And that's something like I'm very like stern on, because I used to not really do that. Like I speak to myself low key because I used to not practice what I preach, but I'm really on that shit now because that's something that you really have to do. Because it's easy to just say you're awake and you know this, this, and that, but then what you're actually doing, it matters even more. You said you have a kid yourself. Yeah, that's good. You have a kid. Like, there's nothing wrong with having children. I don't want you guys to think like I'm against having kids. And they're like, there's nothing wrong with having kids. The reason I say I don't want to have kids has everything to do with the way this system is and just life in general. Like that's what I see. I feel like, especially in America, like if you're in certain countries, then maybe it'll be good, but like America is horrible because the way they have shit set up, and then like they keep raising the prices of everything, the corruption, and then we just went through this bullshit pandemic, and they were forcing kids to get this shot, and some people probably got their kids taken away. And imagine if you had a kid with a bonehead ass fucking female, this bitch wanting to have your kid vaccinated, but you don't, or maybe she's feeding the kid McDonald's every day. You want to feed him a vegan diet because you know it's healthy, but oh, he's a kid, you need to let him have fun and eat. And it's like the only reason the kid wants to eat McDonald's is because you program the fucking kid and put him in environments that they give him that shit. It's like that's why it's like that's a lot of the reasons like I wouldn't want to have a kid in this society. It's because all the all the things that would get in the way of the kid thriving, because we have such a America is such a fucked up culture. Like the way like way this shit is it's like they program you to think this shit is normal and good, but it really isn't. Like that's like the reason I wouldn't. But even then, that's not a reason to stop you from having kids. That shouldn't be a reason. It just is a lot. Like I just can't do, because I like there's situations like my uncle, and then I have other family members, like they dealt with bitches that won't even allow them to see their kids over some stupid shit. And when I see stuff like that, I'm like, I can't deal with that shit right there. I can't deal with that shit. Like, but if you're able to find somebody and have kids and have a family and do your thing, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's one of the reasons America is like the birth rate is declining. Like it eventually, because a lot of this shit is not really a bad thing. Like when you see all this shit, don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it like this is the destruction. Because how in the fuck do you think you're gonna be a colonizer? I'm not gonna bring race into it. We're speaking about even if Africans came here and did what these Europeans did. It's nothing to do with you being white, whatever. How you gonna be a colonizer of any race, come to a country you don't belong to, kill their people, take the land, get rich off their resources, get rich off their land, rape their woman, kill their women, cause hell, impose your system and your own bullshit, steal their culture, steal their beliefs, manipulate everything, brainwash the people, poison the people with the food. How do you think you're going to do all of that? Create a civilization, create a society, and then you intend on creating people, civilians or citizens, and you hope all the citizens prosper and live an American peaceful dream and pay taxes and somehow support your system to make you richer. How the fuck do you think that's gonna end? You don't think like you're dumb if you think you're gonna be able to do all that and have a successful system and not have birth decline rates, not have high crime, not have rebellion, not have a collapsed system inevitably. You're dumb. You're not gonna have a peaceful, and this is why a lot of people are fucked up out here. This is why a lot of people can't pay rent. And a lot of it, I don't want to say it's a good thing. I don't want to say it's a good thing, but you guys got to understand a lot of this shit is because America's cursed. America's cursed. So there's a lot of drug, like the fentanyl epidemic, a lot of crime. You got these hoods. They say all this shit that goes on in the hood with people killing each other. I'm not saying that's good because it isn't, but a lot of that it comes with the territory. This is a cursed land. How do you? It's like somebody come and break into your house and do a home invasion, and then they live in your house peacefully while you got to sit here and go to work and pay rent and then give all your money to them and they live in your house while you're at work. No, they need to go through hell and pay. Even if they invite friends that didn't rob your house with them, you're not going to allow them to live peacefully. Just like people that are that immigrated over here, they're not gonna live peacefully. Eventually, the karma's gonna catch up to them. This is why you see some of these Indian stores. There'll be an Indian store in the fucking, or like a Arab store, and then somebody will come and rob the store, and then they'll be like, "It's so fucked up." And I'm like, I'm not saying it's right that they got their store robbed, but it's like, nigga, first of all, you shouldn't even be in this country. If it wasn't for these colonizers, them fucking up everything and bringing people in here, you shouldn't even be in this country making money off of land that you don't even belong to. And the people of this land, they were exploited and killed. And this goes to any land, not just America. Like if you did that shit to Africa, China, any country, that's fucked up. So if you come to this country and shit happens to you, I feel like a lot of shit is cursed in a way. That's why I say like there should never, as long as there's European colonizers that are in control, there should never be peace in America. The only time I'm not saying there shouldn't be no peace here. What needs to happen is the people who are currently in control of the power of this country and this system, they need to be dethroned and taken back to their country and gotten the fuck up out of here. So therefore, the energies on this land won't be so chaotic, and the spirits that were killed on this land won't be so angry. So maybe there can be some type of peace on this fucking land, and people can actually live a happy life. Because as far as just people, as far as just like people coming to, as far as this world, this country, and this system is the way it is not going to be peace. It's going to have to end one way or another, and it's got the better way is the people who currently run it are just going to be not even, they can't run this country no more. That's how I see it. So because what makes me like fucking laugh is when you see all these like it just annoys me. You see all these people out here like trying to like be like I don't like to bring politics into it because I'm like I don't like to talk about politics because I'm not for any side. But obviously, whoever's in president now, I'm gonna be talking about it because they're in the president right now. So you got all these people who are for Trump, and they sit here and act like everything that the government is doing is for their benefit. Like I seen this bum ass nigga who works at FedEx. He's a package handler, talking about how he's good, he's okay with Trump's policies. Whereas, like, bitch, if you only knew, like, you work at FedEx, Trump doesn't give a fuck about you. Didn't you hear they just laid off people at UPS? They do the same work you're doing. They don't give a fuck about you. The only reason you actually care about his policies is because it's a way for you to exercise your racism. Just like when Obama was in president, Obama didn't do shit for any nigga. He's never done shit for anybody, let alone his fucking self. And you got stupid ass black people. Oh, my president is black. My president is black. I'm happy, but yeah, he didn't do shit for you. So it's the same thing with Trump. It's like white people don't give a fuck about him. It's just if you're a bigot and you're racist, It's a way for you to exercise your hate. Like, oh, I'm glad ICE got these stupid Mexicans, but yet you're a whole broke ass, bum ass, dirty ass white trash. You complain, you have to shop at Walmart for your groceries. You complain about the price of everything. Not to say you shouldn't, but I'm just telling you how where you're at on the totem pole compared to the people that you're talking like that are doing something good. Like, what the fuck does ICE and them getting rid of a Mexican have to do with you can't even afford to barely shop at Walmart? You bum ass bitch. Like, that's still a Mexican not being here still ain't gonna make your money not be stressed. You broke bum ass bitch. You still a miserable white trash. So you talking about ICE needs to take Mexicans. You're just exercising your hatred and your anger and your racism because of your own lacking in your own misery and incompetency in your own life, your mishaps in your own life. So you're angry and you just want to project, and it's a way for you to exercise your racism. Just like when Obama was in president, it was a way for black people to exercise their black power. Oh, our president's black. You see, we came from slavery. We got a black president. Like, it's the same fucking shit. Like, people are retarded and they're hella stupid. And it's like, at the end of the day, motherfuckers who talk like this are the ones still struggling. But then when they struggle, they'll sit here and then want to blame somebody it has nothing to do with, or even if it has something to do with it, it's like, nigga, it's like it's still part of the system. Whether you blame Democrat or fucking, it's all retarded. Shit is crazy. Yeah, it is a collective karma punishment. Why societies? I feel like that's part of it. And in a way, like, and you guys may say, what about the people who create the corruption? This is what you call a crash out. Karma works differently for everyone. I don't even like to say the word karma, but I just using the word karma. Like, karma works differently for everyone. Like, karma can work as something happens to you. Let's just say you're the victim. Karma can work like that. But the person who's the what's the word? The person who's a victimizer, karma is working on them differently. So karma can make somebody crash out and do something stupid to fuck their own spiritual evolution up, and karma can also make you a victimizer. So karma can make, let's just say, an angry spirit that's cursed a bunch of these government. They can make them go crazy to want them go and start a war, or make them go and create chaos and economic poverty, and make them crazy enough to crash out and do that. So it fucks their own shit up down the line. You see what I'm saying? Whereas it affects people as in who are on the victim side, like they got victimized. So either or, like, you may say, oh, all this corrupt society is created by the system and the government. They created it. A lot of these niggas, the reason that you would even do something like create a tariff, create all these property tax, kill people in war, the reason you would do that is because you have mental illness and you're crashing out. Somebody who's healthy mentally and not crashing out isn't going to do over half the shit the government does. When you see them do some crazy fucked up shit, it's because they're crashing out. And in a way, it's kind of good because that's going to solidify their punishment and fuck up their own spiritual evolution even more. Because you get what you pay. You don't get away with nothing. So if they do something stupid, it's like somebody who, like, you want them to go to jail for life. And then he's like, oh, I'm never going to go to jail. You're going to see me forever. I'm never going to go to jail. But then he kills somebody. Even though it sucks he killed somebody, now there's a reason to throw him in jail for life. And he's going to be out of here. So if you could make a motherfucker crash out to do some crazy shit to solidify their own punishment, to not be able to come back and do this shit and fuck up their spiritual evolution, then sometimes it will need to be. So the government, they're like crashing out and doing shit, like all this corruption and them, like they're going through extreme mental illness where they crash out, and it's gonna solidify because everything is recorded. Nothing goes unseen or unpunished. So everything they do It's a result of them crashing out. It's not like they don't know better. Like, because a lot of you guys may think like some of them like they know better, or they don't know. They know what the fuck is going on. It's just a lot of emotions and energies. Like, a lot of them have mental illness, because when you're a colonizer and you come into a land that's not yours, there's spirits on that land that would drive you crazy, drive you mad, and make you have mental illness, and make you have nightmares, and it would just make you do things you wouldn't do. And then this is how like a lot of this negative shit gets done in this country. Like, a lot of them had power, but the power went to their head. Like, they'll even tell you, like, don't give a man too much power. You got to spread it out, because they'll may have one intention to do something right, but then it overtakes them. So a lot of this shit had happened. Like, they had all this power and energy to do certain things, and then they just crashed out, and then now like they fucked their whole shit up. So in a way, it's like on either side, karma is happening differently. It's happening differently. But it's just, I way I see it is like, um, America's a cursed land, and I'm not like, do what you got to do to survive. Like I said, I'm not telling you guys don't participate in it. I don't want you guys to get on my channel and think I'm telling you guys not to do something, or do whatever you feel like you need to do. Once you're tapped into the spirit, this is what makes everything so much cut and dry. It makes everything so clear. Like, you know what you need to do. Like, for you to come on my channel and think I'm gonna tell you don't make money, don't get into crypto, don't get into this, go live in the jungle, don't wash your, like, I'm not gonna tell you to live in the jungle, and I'm not gonna tell you don't live in the jungle. What I will tell you to do is follow your own spiritual intuition and do what's right for you. And that makes it so much easier, because if you just start listening to people on the internet, you end up wasting your time doing shit you don't need to do. You end up going to live in a jungle and not washing your ass because you think it's spiritual. Or you may end up being too much into business and money to the point where it is detrimental for your spiritual growth. Not anyone else but yours. So I'm not going to tell you what to do, what not to do. At the end of the day, I have respect for myself. So if you watching my channel, you fuck with my channel, I have respect for you. So I'm going to treat you like you have common sense. I'm not going to treat you like you're an idiot. I'm not going to sit here and tell you need to wash your ass because I assume you already know that. I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't make money or you should make money because I'm assuming you know what the fuck you need to do, because we all have common sense what the fuck we need to do. It's not rocket science. So I hate when people like to preach and reiterate shit that's common sense, whereas people know what they need to do. It's like, the fuck? And then when you don't say something, people think you're you're just too spiritual. You're in the cloud. It's like, it's not even that. See, I don't even like the word spiritual. I hate that fucking word. I just call it living life. Everything that you do in life from the time you wake up is fucking spiritual. Even if you go smoke crack all day, that's spiritual, because it's gonna affect your spiritual evolution. And it's gonna come into a lesson where you'll realize inevitably that you don't need to be doing that no more. And then it'll come back. So everything you do is spiritual. If you really want to get technical, you wouldn't even have this body if it wasn't for your spirit. So if the spirit is the only thing, the number one thing that's more important than anything, everything you do is spiritual. So that's why I don't like the word spiritual, because it's very vague. It's just like you saying, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go step on some grass. Where at? You gotta go to Africa and step on the grass? You gotta go to Italy, step on the grass? You go in your backyard? Like, what type of grass? What location? What are you gonna do when you step on the grass? Is it a park? Is it in front of a Walmart? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Like, what do you mean spiritual? Like, that's why I don't like that word spiritual, because I look at spiritual as living life, as everything really. And what people confuse spirituality with, they confuse spirituality with something it isn't. Spirituality is really just discipline and sacrificing That's really what spirituality is. It's discipline. Having to be disciplined, doing what you got to do. That's really what spirituality is. Doing what you got to do and being spiritual, or and being disciplined, whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy though, man. And then we got a lot of we got this full moon coming up as well. Full moon coming up, so in the next couple days, so that's gonna be some, at least for me, because I have a lot of yeah, it's a full moon in Leo, so I don't really like to talk about astrology really no more. I like talk about it, but a lot of the astrology, like a lot of people, they just like to talk about certain shit, which is like, is all we are like, because like I notice like all these big placements everyone likes to speak on, but nobody really talks about like the moon sign, and because the moon changes every 2 days. But I notice when I be looking at astrology videos, most people, if not all, if not like most people, don't even talk about the moon phase. They only talk about like Neptune and Aries, Saturn and Aries, which don't get it. Those are important, but those things are going to be playing out for years. Especially Neptune and Aries, that's just going to be here for like years. So you won't even really be feeling that effect really until like years down the line. And even then, it's going to happen so slow because it's a slow planet. So the planet you feel readily is like the moon. Like the moon's in Cancer now, and then by the time it goes into the next sign, which is Leo, and then it's gonna go into Virgo, all of that shit. That shit happens quick, and I notice certain days like that shit when you, because when you look at it, because I be observing people, right, and I'll notice like once the, let's just say the moon's in Cancer right now, I'll see somebody, right, they'll be in a good mood, and as soon as the moon gets another, goes into like the next sign, their mood changes. This is what everyone I see, like even people who don't believe in astrology, man, like you see this shit play out. I be watching certain shit, even when I be watching shit on YouTube, right? And it'd be this content creator. They don't even have to be talking spiritual. And the moon will be, let's just say the moon will be in like Taurus. They'll be talking and acting a certain way. Then the moon goes into Gemini. They'll be fucking like tweaking the fuck out all of a sudden. And then like most people be like, why is this person changing? And I'm like, it's the moon sign. And when you know their astrology, you can tell like certain shit. Like this is why I said astrology shit does not lie at all. Like this shit does not lie. Like you can see this shit play out in real time. Like people, their moods will switch with the moon sign. This is why a lot of astrologers, they don't, you notice how they don't promote the moon astrology in the algorithm. They always talk about Neptune and Aries, Saturn and Pisces, Saturn and Aries, Uranus, and they just talk about the big planets. You notice how they never talk about the moon switching sign every 2 days. Only one channel talks about that. Like that's it. There's only like one channel I know that speaks about the moon sign, probably two, and most people, they don't speak about it. And the reason why is because that's the shit that you see the most change, and you can actually pinpoint and change your life with. They want you to use astrology to talk about shit that doesn't matter, like the government, with the government. AI is gonna come because Uranus and Gemini. Uranus is technology and Gemini is communication, so it's gonna be alien. Shut the fuck up, bitch. AI's been around fucking for the past fucking 20, 30 years. Like they had AI like 10 years ago. Like a lot of these AI pages, they had them out here like years, like 10 years ago, 5, 6 years. The AI's been around before Uranus was in Gemini. It's just coming out for the people. So everyone wants to act like it's something fucking all that. Like, shut the fuck up. That's why I don't even watch astrology videos like that no more. Because every time I watch an astrology video, like these mainstream ones, or I go because this is why I have to stay. I have to study my own astrology because I go look up astrology videos, and every single person, they always correlate astrology with the government or what Trump's doing, or the Civil War happened when Neptune was in Aries, so we're gonna have another war this time because it's the first time in 300 years Neptune was in air. Nigga, shut the fuck up, dude. Why is the government? What does the government have to do with astrology? Like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever happens, that whatever the government did when Neptune was in Aries, it didn't happen because Neptune was in Aries. It happened because there was people in government that study astrology, and they're using the astrology to try to make their system go the way they want it. The way you should be using astrology to make your life go, they're using it. So instead of talking about what they did and how it connects, you should be using astrology to create your own reality, like they are doing. They're the ones who decided to do a civil war when Neptune was in Aries. No, Neptune and Aries, or the god or whatever the fuck you want to call it, didn't create it. The people who because there's somebody who's in control of starting war. When they start a war, there's a fucking man in an office or whatever the fuck how they do it. We're gonna go to war, and they start the war at that date and that time, and they usually start it at a certain time, and it's probably behind some ritual or whatever. So they decide to do it at that time. There's nothing else. It's not like it was supposed to happen or nothing. Like, I don't know why. Like, and none of the astrologers, they never speak like that. They always speak like it's like God is the one who created the event. I don't know if they're agents or they're just fucking stupid. Some of them I think are just, most of them I think are just fucking stupid. I don't think a lot, but I'm like, how are you this stupid? Because if you this old, shouldn't you put two and two together and be like, if I'm correlating artificial intelligence and connecting it with Uranus and Gemini, who's not to say the people in control of artificial intelligence is just going to use Uranus and Gemini to release it? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Like, you would think eventually you would think that, but no, they don't. They still keep on with that bullshit. But yeah, that's all I really want to say in this video. If anybody wants to join, I didn't really want to say too much in the video. I'll probably go on live tomorrow. I'll go on live tomorrow probably. Oh man. Yeah. That part my next live I want to talk more about my experience with my fast and everything, because I was gonna talk about it this live stream, but yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Damn, a fucking iPad, man. Every time I start my live, it's always not charged. Okay, why the fuck do you keep saying this shit, man? Damn. Keep showing me that damn notification. Oh man. Yeah. But I might probably end this live stream, guys. If anybody don't want to join, cause I just want to really come on here, because I gotta do some shit later on today. I don't want to, cause I'll be on here. If I'm not careful, I'll be on here for like 3 hours and shit. And 3 hours of my day be gone. I don't mind being on here, but sometimes I got a lot. I got things I gotta do, and like that'd be 3 hours. I could have been doing something. He said, "Are you still gonna be doing roasting videos?" I had to cut down on that because YouTube they fucking flagged my video. I guess they said harassment and bullying, because it's funny when I do it, it's harassment and bullying. So I have to be careful because I think I got a strike, and I don't want to get two. So yeah, that I stopped because they got me for harassment and bullying, and then it kind of reminded me like the reason why I stopped before, because when other people do it, it's fine, but when I do it, I guess because when I talk a lot of shit, I go really hard, and I say some very vile, disturbing, disgusting, heart wrenching things. So they really flag my shit because like when I roast, I go very very hard, and I'll say shit that will get my channel banned. So that's something I can't really do because they can get you for harassment and bullying, which is fucking retarded. I I get it in a way, but like it's just kind of stupid still, man. It's hella stupid. Like they don't let you talk. You really can't even express yourself. Like even Facebook banned me, and I can't even make a fucking Facebook there no more. Like I have to get another. I can't make a Facebook on this tablet no more because they banned me. So if I make an account, they'll say, you've had accounts. You have like let's say I make a new account. They'll ban my new account and say that my new account is connected to my old account. When I delete the app and I download the app, it will show it. I will log into Facebook, and it will show all my accounts that got deleted. Like it's so like they recognize this device that I'm on, so I have to get like another device, which I'm not getting, like to make another Facebook, because like other like Instagram and shit, like because Instagram's the only shit I use. I used Facebook, but I don't use that no more, and I use Instagram. And I'm actually glad because like I don't even want to be on Facebook at all. Like I need to be off that shit anyway. So like I stopped using. I haven't used that shit for like 2 months, and it's like I forgot I even had the Facebook, to be honest, because I went and I logged in like yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm banned from this shit because I hadn't been on it for like a month and a half. I had almost forgot I was banned from it, but Instagram's the only thing I use in YouTube. I don't use Twitter. I don't use TikTok. I don't know. I fucking hate TikTok. It's retarded because if TikTok was like formatted like Instagram, then I'll fuck with it. I just hate going on there, and every time I'm on there, it's like I have to. It's so weird because like everything is a video. Like I'll turn out, like I'll go to the next video, and I hate that shit. Like I don't like scrolling, and everything. Every time I scroll, is like a short or a video. Like it's so fucking annoying. Like that shit's annoying. I have to put it on mute, and I don't like seeing it. Like I like Instagram because Instagram, they show you the pictures, and if you look and you like something, you click it. I don't like scrolling and the next thing is a video, the next thing is somebody. I don't like that shit because it's fucking annoying. I like to be able to see what I'm gonna click, and then if I like it, click it. I don't like to just scroll and then a whole bunch of fucking videos popping up, and because I have to mute it because it gets hella loud and annoying, and like I don't like putting a lot of dumb shit in my subconscious like that. I don't like just so much. That's why I don't like TikTok. I hate TikTok. I don't like the way it's formatted. It's too much shit going on. Like too much degenerate shit. Like every fucking video I scroll is some retard yelling at the top of their lungs, talking hella weird, hella fake. It just so I don't go on TikTok. It's too cringy and weird and retarded for me. And then Instagram, I can do. And Instagram's cool. It's all right. I could do Instagram because when I'm on Instagram as well, like I get on. I'll probably be on there for a few because I go on there and then I get off. It's not like I'll be on there and like for a long ass time or some shit, or I'll because it's easy for me to get like not be on Instagram that long. So Instagram's the only thing I use at this point, and YouTube. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna do if I do roasting videos, it'll probably be later on. Cause there ain't nobody worth roasting for me, to be honest. There's no point really in roasting. Yeah, there's no point. It's funny because like nowadays is like it's funny how the people who would make the best roasting channels, like they can't even roast you. Like for example, like let's just say somebody like Kai Cenat. He has a big ass channel. He can't roast somebody like me because it would actually based upon how YouTube politics and how it's situated. If he started roasting me, it would actually give me like good attention. Like it's social media is so weird because when you like nowadays, it's like if you roast somebody, it's actually a good thing. Like you're like giving them attention because like we live in such a toxic society and the way YouTube politics and how it works. When you roast somebody, especially if you're a bigger channel than them, it's like a flex in a way to the person being roasted because now they're getting all that attention. So it's like there was nobody who's worth my attention for me to go and roast them like the way I see it. I just couldn't just roast somebody. Like if I'm gonna sabotage them personally or do something because I don't fuck with you, then that's different. But just going to just roast you, like I'm not gonna give you that attention. I'm not gonna give you that gratification. Even though I don't see it as gratification, I see it as roasting. But a lot of these weird ass people, like they'll take that as a compliment. Like, oh, he's roasting me. He's paying attention to me because a lot of these things they ain't had nobody pay attention to them. They weird. They need validation. So their validation is so needed. Even if somebody talks shit, they'll be like, "Oh, I got a hater, so I must be doing something right." But it's like, nigga, you know damn well you're not doing shit right in your life. Just look at your fucking life. You ain't doing shit right in it. So me hating on you has nothing to do with that. You trying to copy one of these fucking like influencers or like celebrities or rappers who like I can see somebody like fucking I don't know Will Smith, like somebody hating on him. Okay, you gotta probably hate on him because he's a famous celebrity and he has a lot of attention. And people, when you have that much attention and followers, people are gonna hate on you. It makes sense. But then you have people who are bums who ain't nobody, and then somebody will hate on them. But it'll be a valid reason they hate on them, like nigga's a bitch. But they'll look at it like it's a compliment. So it's like I don't want to boost someone's ego up like they're somebody. Like nigga, no, I don't. Because at that point, it's like if me making a roasting video is validation that you're doing something right, nigga. If I go get a fucking a sock with a locket in it and hit you upside the head, is that the same good type of hate? No, at that point you're gonna look at that as like something negative because you got hit upside the head with a lock inside of a sock or some shit. So that's why I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste my time and energy on these niggas. Plus, I don't really. There's nobody really I hate on here that I need to roast. Like nobody's really done anything to me to make me want to roast them. Yeah. Because when I look at him, everyone's just going through their own shit. Most people are just struggling, going through their own shit. Especially now, where like the shift we're in is like most people are just struggling, going through their own shit right now. Like that's one thing I'm seeing a lot of. Like a lot of people are really like struggling right now mentally. So like I'm not gonna like I don't need to like really do anything. I'm just focused on doing my own shit right now. I got my own shit trying to figure out and do, and yeah. The only reason I was roasting that other bitch is because she had fucking with my comments telling me some bullshit a few months ago, before I started roasting her, and I didn't say nothing to her because I just ignored her, and then I just felt like roasting her. That's the reason because she came on my page first. I didn't just go and pick her out. She came in on my page first. That's why I started roasting her ass. But yeah, I don't want to bring any of that negative energy. I got better things I'm doing in my fucking life than to sit here and roast some nobody ass motherfucker. Nobody's worth my time. Like if I don't like you, because there's people I don't like on here, but I'm not gonna roast you. I just don't fucking like you. I don't need to. Even if I seen you in person, I wouldn't even do nothing. Like, why am I at risk going to jail over your ass? Like you're nobody. You'd be lucky if I look up and down and spit in your direction. You'd be lucky if I do that, let alone like do something to you. Like most motherfuckers is just not worth it. Yeah. It is what it is though. Everyone just retarded nowadays. Oh man. Yeah. Just see. Damn. I got some fucking candles. Got me a few candles over there. It's just I'm gonna start fucking. I just lately I've been fucking with these candles. They smell pretty damn good. I like because I used to light candles all the time, but I stopped doing it. But when I'm fasting though, I don't like to light them because when I'm fasting, I like to be in a very clean state. I don't like to smell chemicals and other shit like fragrance and all that. I don't like to smell that. When I'm fasting, I like to be as clean as possible. That's why like when I'm not doing my fast, I'll light a candle. Like when I do my fast, I probably won't light a candle because I'm more sensitive to the fragrance. I like to just keep it natural and fresh. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end this live stream, guys. I'm gonna be back a little later. I'm gonna end this, and I'll probably be back tomorrow or something. But I'm gonna end this, and I'll hit you guys up a little later.